Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live stream Saturday. And I hope you had a great week and that your weekend has started well as well. Starting with Greed tonight, as requested for, over on Patreon, and I can see you guys in the live chat room tonight. Hello to all of you in there. Let's give a quick shout out and see what is going on. We have in the house tonight Ro, Momo, oh, and it's gone through too quickly. Let's start at the bottom. Gail, Diamond Girl, Mimi321, Pamela, Melody Rocks, Lisa Dwayne, Billy, Daisy, Totoro, Porco, Tammy, Corey, Angela, Laura, Alison, Pink Thistle, Diamond Girl again, Gail, Bob in there, and it's moving too quickly. So, hello everyone, thank you for joining me tonight, and I think either I'm zoomed in, maybe I'm sitting a little bit closer than I normally am. I'm trying to move my chair backwards. Maybe that's where I normally sit. I was a little bit too close to the desk. Anyway, and moving backwards, even though my chair has wheels on it, I've got carpet. So it means that moving backwards and forwards, once it gets rested in the carpet, it's very difficult to move. So that's probably actually quite good that I didn't tilt all the way backwards and fall off my chair. So anyway, moving into the live stream, let's get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. So massive thank you to you guys. You know who you are. As I always say, they are the foundation of everything that I do. The live streams, the analysis videos, and everything. So yes, thank you for your support, everyone. Now, on tonight's live stream, we are going to be aiming for a new record for the channel of thumbs up. So we're going to be aiming for 640, which is a crazy number. So if you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. So we can get a little bit closer to that target for tonight. And we're going to need, some serious spikes of the likes in order to get up to that, what would be a new record for tonight. Now, I think it's going to be FilJam number 207 for tonight, not 206. I'm going to do a double check of that, make sure my numbers are correct. Yes, it is. 207 is what we're going to be doing tonight if we do hit that target of 640. So yeah, every thumbs up is very much appreciated. And as is always the case, the likeometer likes to jump around as soon as we start the live stream, but let me get that on screen so we can see it is at, it's a little bit wonky, but it is at 281 at the moment. So, did I see somebody said it should be 645 likes for tonight? I'm not sure if that is correct. So what I'm going to do live on the air is check my own live stream from last Saturday, and I'll click on it and randomly put it somewhere. And at the top right of the screen, exactly where the target is, I've got a little eye icon that says Wings of Pegasus is live now, which is true. So it means that I can see 6 and I can see 0 and I can't see the number. But of course, if it's a 0, it's got to be 40. So right, let's change this. So 640 is the current record. We're going to be aiming for 645 for tonight. There we go. So the mountain's peak has just been raised up a little bit. So 645 is what we're looking for. And that means we need even more thumbs up. We're looking for 5 more people to get involved. So if you could do that, that would be great. And we're at 307 so far, so closing in on halfway. We'll keep an eye on that. Right. Also, as I always say, you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. And for those people that can't resist donating, I think it's important they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which is in the description below. But yeah, just watching is great. Maybe leaving a thumbs up, introduce yourself into the live chat room. That's how we all get to know each other. And I get to see your pictures and your usernames and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. And that reminds me, when talking about donating and all of that extra stuff, which is amazing that you don't have to do. Also, buying merchandise is something that you don't have to do, but it's very much appreciated when you do that. And unfortunately, I was messaged earlier this week, I can't remember exactly when, but I was linked to a store or a website that is selling merchandise with Wings of Pegasus on it, and I haven't given permission for them to put my logo on their stuff and start selling, all of the stuff. I don't know how much they're selling, but I think this is now the problem, that we're getting to a point now where a lot of people are knowing about Wings of Pegasus, which is great, and know about the channel, and obviously used to see my logo and all that kind of stuff. So a third-party company has maybe seen an opportunity to jump in there and steal my logo, put it on their merchandise, and I'll have to find out exactly how the person who bought this merchandise found that website, because I don't know whether they might be advertising it or something, but the spring.com store, that's the store that do it officially, that I will get the money for those purchases, or at least a percentage of it. Obviously, Spring take a large percentage, but it means that I can just offload it to them, and then they do it all and send the merchandise out, all that kind of stuff. So, just be careful with it, because I'm sure any other website that's using my logo without my permission, putting it on merchandise, will be charging more than Spring.com anyway. But, just the fact that it's an illegal thing, just be wary of it. If it doesn't say spring.com or spring creator, / Wings of Pegasus, if there isn't any spring in the internet name at the top of the screen, then it's not official. So just look out for that. Right, I'm just going to skip these adverts that want to come in. So this is the thing about, because things are getting a little bit more well known, ironically, I've spent so many of the last months trademarking a particular thing for my side project, and obviously that's taking up all of my time, as it still is at the moment. So getting into trademarking Wings of Pegasus, that's obviously something that I'm going to have to do now in order to just safeguard me in the future, because I'm assuming that it's only going to get more known or more popular if we keep on going up in subscriber count as we have done recently. So I'll have to keep an eye on it, and get Wings of Pegasus trademarked and make it all impossible to copy, like a registered trademark. But we will see if that is going to be possible, because obviously somebody can't have registered before and all that kind of stuff, and it's I think about a 3-month wait in order to get that done. But I'll do that in the future at some point. This is the problem, that just having time to do anything it is a bit of a nightmare, because I am where I am with this side project that I really want to get launched, and everything else is taking a bit of a backseat to that, and all of my kind of legal stuff has been concentrated on that particular project. But that'll be happening soon. So yes, just be vigilant with merchandise. If you see it anywhere and it's not spring.com or springcreator.com, then go to the springcreator.com, please, because that's my kind of official merchandise page. Anyway, let's get into the donations that I can see that happened already. So thank you guys for these. It's Orlando that donated $2 first and said hit that like button with some thumbs up. So thank you for that, Orlando, and great idea. If you guys can hit the thumbs up, that would be great. Aiming for a new record tonight for the channel. Karen has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, greetings. Just curious if you heard about the Tina Turner song that was found after 40 years. It was apparently played Thursday in your side of the pond. So thank you for that. And no, I haven't heard anything about that. And generally I think with news, I mean, I know about the storms. Obviously I know about the storms, because even here, and thankfully I haven't been affected by Storm Airwin. But even here, there's really, strong winds and rain and all of that kind of stuff. And I think the storm was actually over Ireland. So, I mean, we are miles away here. But to think of the damage that it was doing there, considering that the winds were strong here, and you could hear it, whistling outside and things getting blown over. So I think over in Ireland they had winds of over 110 miles an hour. So that's there was a danger to life warning, because that's ripping roofs off houses and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, seriously dangerous. But thankfully, we were unaffected here. We were really far away from it. But so anyway, keeping in touch with the news and everything is not something that I do, because I'm just busy all the time. So thank you for that, Karen. I hadn't heard about that, but maybe I'll hear it at some point. Paul's donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Paul. The message is, wow, 460,000 subscribers. Super awesome. Let's have fun tonight and spike those likes, all y'all. How about a plug of the mug? And it ties in with the whole merchandise thing. If you want to get your hands on any of the official merchandise, then you can click on the tray underneath this video down there. If you haven't got one of those, then there's a link in the description below to the spring store. Right. Thank you for that, Paul. And let's get this up on screen, because yes, we have now reached 460,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for subscribing and hitting the thumbs up, hitting the notification bell is something that you will need to do in order to get notified for all of the videos and the live streams. But yeah, it's a great audience, a great number. We'll keep on pushing forward and see where we end up. But the more people we start getting involved, the better, especially what's around the corner for myself and this project that I've been working on for ages. But I mean, there's still a little bit of time to go, I think, until I can tell everybody what it's all about and actually launch it. I've got to write about 1 million emails from contacts that I've made over the last 5 or 10 years to make sure that when everything launches that we do it properly. But yeah, 460,000 subscribers. Thank you everyone for the support, and we'll keep on pushing forward. And yes, a great number. Even if we don't get any more from now, it's a great number to have. So let's get rid of that. And we plugged the mug. That is all fine. Paul donated $2 again after that and said, I forgot to add this to my first super chat. Rock. So thank you for that, Paul, again. And Totoro Porco's donated $5, so thank you for that. And the message is Trademark Legal Defense Fund. So thank you for that. Right. I'm just having a look into the live chat room. Again, I'm assuming that you can see me and that you can hear me. I know that Susie Q says I can't hear Phil. So, and this is the problem that, sometimes, we've still got cheering going on. So maybe they're in the way of what I was saying. So maybe it's not that you can't hear me, it's that people are cheering and that's why you can't hear me. So anyway, hopefully you can hear me again now. I'm assuming that it's not a total audio failure. So, Cindy says they're still cheering. So yeah, as long as you can hear the cheering, that's fine. So yeah, sorted that out. Anyway, back to the super chat donations. Tortoro Porco's donated $5, as I just said, about the Trademark Legal Defense Fund, and I think that is now up to date in there, which is great. We have had donations over on PayPal as well, so thank you guys for these. And Ian donated £1, and that was a straight up donation, so thank you for that, and that was on Wednesday. Right, let's skip along to the next one, which was Elrod, who donated £6, so thank you for that, Elrod, and that's a straight up donation, and that happened on Wednesday as well, Wednesday morning at 11:33. Then we had another donation. This is Tammy, who donated a $7.44 this morning, £10. Thank you for that. The message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 460,000, probably 461,000 by the time you get this subscribers. Please wish fellow winger Debbie Ricard a happy birthday. Thank you. So thank you for that, Tammy, and happy birthday to Debbie, and everyone can wish Debbie a happy birthday in the live chat room tonight. I hope you have a fantastic day, and thank you for letting us know, Tammy. Right, let's move into the next one. Nicole has donated £15. Thank you for that, Nicole. And the message is, hello, Phil. Bonsoir. I saw on TV the storm in UK, especially in Ireland, Belfast and Cornwall. Big damages, but I hope you're spared in your area. You and your family have a quiet weekend. Phil, love and rock always. So thank you for that. And yeah, thankfully everything here was okay. Still a bit stormy, but yeah, nothing compared to what was going on in Ireland. And yeah, other places in the UK, I think in Scotland and in the northern areas of the UK, I think there was like an amber warning or something like that for all the other places that were, kind of south of England. So, it was stormy, but not too bad. And yeah, what I did see on the news, just while I just happened to be watching when they were saying about the storm, because it's such, that's been the main news really, the only thing that I've seen. But they had footage of the winds just going crazy, and there were loads of trees along this road, and somebody was driving in their car, and you could see that the tree was falling, and it didn't fall quickly. Obviously, it's got to pull out all of its roots, and it was a big tree, and it was falling, and the tree fell on top of the car. Luckily, the person wasn't kind of badly injured in the car. But then I thought, when that person, first of all, driving in that kind of area, you think, well, with the winds, I wouldn't even go outside, even walking, because I think, what if a tree gets blown on top of you? But anyway, so they were driving along, and I thought, what are they looking at in order to not see this massive tree in front of them? It, like I said, it wasn't falling quickly. It wasn't like a split second, like, oh, falling and hit. It's like falling, and you're driving your car perfectly underneath, and now you're, been squashed. So yeah, I don't know. I find that when I'm driving and looking at other people driving, that they're not really paying attention as to what's going on. Especially with, I've been driving in very windy conditions, and I'm looking at every single tree all the time. Obviously, I'm focusing on the road as well, but when there's nothing else around, you have a quick look just to see if you can see any telltale signs that one of them's going to fall over. But yeah, you got to be wary of everything when you're driving in those kinds of conditions. And then, when you're going alongside a truck or something that's higher, so there's a chance that it can blow over. That's why if there is a truck there, I'm not going to overtake it, or I'm just going to sit behind it just in case. You don't want to be next to one of those when a crosswind hits. So the advantage that I've got, I think, is that because I've got an electric car, they weigh about 8 million tons. So I know that my car is very heavy because of the battery in there. So I think it's a lot less likely to get blown over when maybe compared to other older cars that have, a lighter engine and all that kind of stuff. So thankfully, I don't really have to drive anywhere really. Apart from this week where I had my car serviced, and it's always the way that on the day that it has the service, and I cleaned my car, ready for the service, and of course, that's when we started to get the storm happening, and it was raining, and people going through puddles that were, filled with mud. So then, on returning home, of course, my car looked like an absolute disgrace. So yeah, I had to try and do what I could in order to clean it as much as possible. But that's what happens with storms. You clean your car, and then the storm comes along. Anyway, thank you for that, Nicole. And Steve's donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Steve. And the message is, they are all electronics. What makes one electric guitar sound different from other ones, like Strat to Les Paul to Ibanez to Rickenbacker, etc.? So thank you for that, Steve. Now, the difference between electric guitars, when you're talking about the body of them, it's mostly electrics, of course, because of the pickups, and you can have, as Prince showed in his career, you can have guitars shaped in all weird and wonderful ways, as long as the pickups are there to pick up the sound of the strings. So when it now gets to adding in tone to a particular sound with an electric guitar, what I will do is cite Gary Moore here, because Gary Moore, whenever he would look at guitars, he would play them without plugging them in. And I saw a video of him doing this with actually a Les Paul, where he was playing it, and all he did was just play a note and hold it, and he played that and listen to how long he could hear that note kind of resonating in the body of the guitar. So the reason that he did that, and he said to the interviewer at the time that if he can hear the note resonating for a long amount of time with a particular guitar, obviously it doesn't have to be a Les Paul, but I'll get into why it resonated for longer with a Les Paul. But he said, if I can hear it, and it's got natural sustain where the sound waves are resonating kind of inside the body effectively of the electric guitar, he said, then I know that when I plug it in, that I'm going to get more sustain because the sound of the guitar is resonating. The strings aren't dying out. Just when the string's dying out, there's a little bit of resonation happening in the body of the guitar, which, because, if you think about the pickups on the guitar being like microphones, they're going to be sending that signal to an amplifier. And if that signal continues for a longer time, obviously you're going to get the note coming out for a longer length of time, therefore you're getting sustain, or the effect of sustain, because you're getting a longer note. It's sounding for a longer time. So anyway, back to the size and the shapes of the bodies of electric guitars. When you look at acoustic guitars, apart from maybe having the cutaway so that you can get higher up the fretboard, as you can see behind me here, a bit of the body's been cut away in order to allow that movement higher up the neck. But with acoustic guitars, you'll see that the body of an acoustic guitar is really similar in shape across lots of different, makers of acoustic guitars. And makers isn't a very official word, but for some reason my brain is not giving manufacturers. It wouldn't give me that word. So anyway, across loads of different manufacturers and companies that make acoustic guitars, the bodies are all a very similar shape. And that's because, over hundreds of years, the shape has been tweaked in order to get as much tone as possible, as much sustain as possible, the richest sound possible, all this kind of stuff. And obviously they've experimented with different, woods and different shapes of the body. So with an acoustic guitar, that is the shape that is the most efficient and can give the best sound. Obviously it's subjective, but there's a reason why all of the acoustic guitars look very similar in terms of the body shape. So now, long answer to this question, but taking that theory to now electric guitars. So if you have a body on an electric guitar that is similar to that of an acoustic guitar, even though you might not have that resonant space or as much on an electric guitar as you would have an acoustic guitar, that space is allowing notes and sounds to resonate more. So that's why, even though there are different manufacturers of guitars, when you start putting them next to each other, obviously some people will say, well, you can't hear the difference. But then other people will say, well, yeah, but a Les Paul, it gives a more sustained sound, and the notes tend to go on for a little bit longer, and it's kind of easier to play. And then when you throw into the mix, the pickups being, like on a Fender, as you can see there, kind of being single coil pickups rather than having like a humbucker pickup, which is going to double the signal anyway, effectively. So it means that the note is going to last a bit longer, and you start getting into the pickups. But just talking about the bodies, those guitars that tend to imitate an acoustic body more will tend to get a bit more, sustain or sound from the notes. But I'm just going to refer that to Gary Moore, that if he used to play each guitar to see what the sustainment was like naturally, there had to be something in it. It's not something that I've ever done, but I mean, I started playing Strats, so when you compare one Strat to another Strat, obviously you're not going to hear much difference. So thank you for that, Stephen. I'm talking about acoustically. yeah, obviously if you get different pickups in a Strat, you'll hear the subtle differences there. But yeah, comparing one Strat to another without plugging it in, they're going to sound very similar. Thank you for that, Steve. And Debbie has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Debbie, in the messages. Hi, Phil. Congrats on 460,000 subscribers. Your channel is on fire. I am on catch-up crew tonight as I am out celebrating my birthday with family. Have a great live stream. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that. And yes, we received a tip-off earlier about Debbie's birthday. But like I said, have a fantastic day and night. I hope you have a good evening if you're going out for a meal or anything that you're doing. So yeah, a big happy birthday wishes to Debbie. There has been another donation. This is from Anne for £7.68. So thank you for that, Anne. And the message is sending wishes from US to UK and Ireland in the aftermath of Storm Erwin. So thank you for that. And yeah, there was another storm on the way. I don't know what it was, but all of these storms now have names because they are a lot more serious. And 2024, just throughout that year, I said we're getting a lot more storms than we've ever had in the UK. And what's the date? The 25th of January, did we have one before Erwin? We might have done, I'm not sure. But this will be either the second or the third storm that we've had in the first month of the year. So it's absolutely crazy. And I know that everyone says about global warming and maybe being a thing and not being a thing. Yeah, I mean, just from the weather that we're having, something's happened. So, and I would tend to believe the experts that say what they're saying. I would tend to believe them, in the same way that when people watch my analysis videos, I think they probably assume that, given my experience, that I know what I'm talking about. And I would think the same for like a scientist. Like, I know about music, I know about analysing vocals, doing all that kind of stuff, playing the guitar, teaching guitar, all music production. I know about all that stuff. Science, I don't know about, so I leave that to the scientists. And if they say the Earth is getting warmer, therefore we're going to experience more serious weather events, if they say that, then I say, well, there might be something in it. And then when you see it actually happening, you think, well, there is a bit of a correlation here. So yeah, we will see what happens with this crazy weather, but if it ever dies down at any point. But anyway, thank you for that, Anne. And Connie has donated £20. Thank you for that, Connie, in the messages. Because projects are expensive. Thanks for all you do. Peace, love, and rock, Connie B. So thank you for that. And yes, projects are expensive. And yeah, with my side project, I'm kind of doing as much as I can. And yeah, covering as much as I can with it. Because when you start talking about protecting things worldwide, that's where, yeah, it is ridiculously expensive, and something that, yeah, maybe if things go well with it, then it might be something I can look at in the future, maybe in a few years' time. But yeah, certainly I'm just covering all the bases that I can at the moment with everything from that legal perspective with the side project. But thank you for that, Connie. And Sue has donated £10. Thank you for that, Sue, and the messages. Send a cease and desist letter to the company bootlegging your merch. At least that will put them on notice that you're safeguarding the rights to your own logo and merch. Wishing you good luck. So thank you for that, Sue. And yeah, I'll have to find out how, like, who the company are, or how the person found the company, because then that'll probably be a way for me to try and kind of get in there. Oliver has donated £8.06 as well. Thank you for that, Oliver. The message is rock on and make live again. Love your content. Greetings from Germany. So thank you for that. And trust me, I'm very much working on it at the moment. And Joe has donated £15 as well. And just before, it just reminded me that when some people comment in, obviously the comment section underneath the video, where I'm pointing out one thing or another thing about really how prevalent tuning is now with vocals, that everything's getting tuned. and they say, oh, why are you wasting your time on these videos? With the following you've got, you could be promoting other bands or artists who are genuinely doing it live, who are singing live and all this kind of stuff. And the thing is that obviously people don't know the side project that I'm working on, but it is all in that direction. So the more that I can feature at the moment on the channel, how prevalent this is, it means it shows how important the side project is going to be, because there's nothing worse than doing something and saying, right, this is to combat this issue, and then people saying, well, there's not an issue. That's not what I want. I want everyone to see that it is an issue, and that like with that, I'm just going to skip over this advert, but like with that poll that we had in the live stream, that 95% of people thought that if they were told a live performance wasn't actually live or was auto-tuned, they would think differently about that it would alter their opinion of it. And 95% of people thought that out of almost 400 people. So you think, well, it is an issue, but you've got to establish the issue first before then saying, here's the issue and here's the solution to that issue. So yeah, this is it. And obviously for the people that are making those comments, I can't write out this every time. So I've just got to kind of take it on the chin and think, right, well, in maybe a few months' time, when it's all kind of out there, they'll know why I spent so long pointing this kind of thing out. And it's important as well for the background of myself, so that people know that I've been doing this a very long time and that I know what I'm talking about, so that when I launch this side project, because I'm doing it, it's something that has my reputation tied in with it. So it's not going to be some third party company that actually might be owned by a major label who has financial incentives to lie about who's doing it, and who's doing it truly live, and who is not using auto-tune when they might be using auto-tune, and all this kind of stuff. So that's a huge part of it, that I am independent of the whole music industry. And I'm this is why I do what I do. I stay outside it, because if I was inside the music industry and had affiliations with record labels, then what I'm doing, it wouldn't be reputable, because I'll say, oh yeah, this artist is performing fully live and they're not using auto-tune, and trust me, I work for Sony. As soon as you get to that point, you think, oh, so all of the artists that are now signed by Sony, you're saying that they're all doing it genuinely live and they're all amazing. How can we trust what you're saying? So that's the point. That the reason I'm spending a lot of time on it is to build up the background, but also I think it's something that I can do. Being independent is such an important part of what I'm going to be doing, and there might be other people that say, oh yeah, we're going to do a similar thing, but yeah, I think that if you're part of the industry, you can't do it objectively, because everything gets corrupted, in pretty much every industry, because once there's a financial incentive, like we saw with the First Take channel, which is owned by Sony, when they said, trust us, nothing is edited at all, nothing is tuned, it's just one take, all the mistakes are left in, and then the video that I'm looking at is pitch corrected, the next video auto-tuned. So you think, well, you can't trust the industry to be honest about anything. So anyway, that's why it has to be independent. It has to be something that, I am involved with, so everybody knows that, there's no incentive for me to take a side of a particular artist. As my analysis videos show, that I'm not analysing only one kind of performer or one artist, or not trying to expose anyone. I'm doing it all independently and objectively, which is very important to build up for what I'm doing on the side, even though it doesn't mean that I do get trolls now and again who don't know what I'm doing on the side, but it'll make sense in the future. Anyway, Joe, the message was, for a new or aspiring guitarist who can't afford a real PRS, Fender or Les Paul, and instead can only pay say 500 Great British pounds for a Squier, Strat or Epiphone Les Paul or Korean PRS, where should they put some extra investment? Change pickups, get the neck plexed, new electronics, replace the bridge, etc.? What to you is the biggest bang for the buck? So thank you for that, Joe. Lots of questions all in one. So first of all, playability has got to be king. Playability, so I always say try and get your hands on the guitar that you're about to buy so you can, see if it suits your physiology. So playability, I'd say, is king because other things you can then change. So once you get a guitar that you feel like, wow, I really like this neck, and it suits my hand and I can stretch up the neck and I can reach notes that, on other guitars I might not be able to reach, and the action's low and it just suits my playing ability, tick that box. So that's what you want to do first, because then it's now a case of, right, playability is great, so I like the guitar, which is really important. So now you can start thinking about whether you want to, put in a new bridge pickup, maybe like I did on my Fender Strat. Maybe you want to put in, dual blade pickup that's going to simulate a humbucker in there to get a more aggressive sound. So now, like with that, my stock Fender pickups just sounded great, especially the neck pickups. So I kept that as it was and just changed the bridge, because when I wanted to go into a heavier solo sound, that's what I did. That's what I changed. So it proves that if you like the way that the guitar plays, you can change the tone, change the sound by editing that. So first of all, playability, then you can edit the tone if you want to. And in terms of getting the neck treated or anything like that, I would say, well, that comes under playability. If the guitar's really nice to play, you won't really be thinking about, oh, I now have to change something about the neck, because if it plays well, there won't be too much to have to edit on it. And when I say that, I mean go up and down the fretboard and check for frets that potentially buzz and that there might be issues with the neck. So you want to make sure that it's all above board. And this is why I say get your hands on the guitar if you can do. So yeah, that's it. So I would say anything that you want to change you can do later on, but it's all about playability in the first place. Get your hands on it. And I'm trying to see if there were any other questions in there. I think pretty much that is it. And I'd even say I went for a Strat, but it's up to you whether you like a particular sound of a particular guitar, because I will say that the reason playability is king is because there is no point buying a guitar that you find really difficult to play, but it's got a great tone, because you won't be able to make the most of the tone, because you might be, missing frets and you might be buzzing. So therefore, somebody listening to you play, they won't be able to appreciate the tone because of the buzzing, noise of you trying to fret notes because you're finding it difficult to play. So this is it. But yeah, just play well first and adjust the tone afterwards. That's what I do. I have done on my original Fender Strat. So yeah, that's what I would advise. Don't make playing the guitar harder than it needs to be. You'll find a guitar that just suits you. Right. Thank you for that, Joe. Yeah, it's one of those questions that could be answered for a very long time. But we are now up to date in the PayPal window. So thank you guys for those donations. You don't have to donate, but they are very much appreciated. And a quick plug of the thumbs up. We are attempting to get to 645 likes tonight, which would be a new record for the channel. So if you haven't hit the thumbs up, that would be, very much appreciated. So jumping into the Super Chat window, we have a donation from Totoda Polka again for $5. So thank you for that. And the message is, an artist pained over Jimmy Page's Dragon Telly and ruined the sound of his guitar. So, thank you for that. And Jan has donated 50 Norwegian kroner as well. Thank you for that. The message is, human nature is to do what you love regardless of monetary compensation. I hope at least. So thank you for that. And yeah, and this is the huge question and maybe issue that people have with artists who might lip sync at a particular show, or they might rely on technology to make their voice sound more accurate live, all this kind of stuff. It's all about an artistic question that, you know, if you are a true artist, then yeah, everyone's got a line, and then some people might say, well, no, I just want to sing naturally, and then it is what it is. But other people don't have that particular line, so there's a million and one different artists and where they set the line for their own performances to, you know, play to a backing track and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's a discussion that will be had until the end of time, whether people think it's, I don't know, better to go out and perform a gig as yourself, doing as much as you can do for your audience, and then accepting, well, that's all I can do. So every show that I'm going to do is going to be that length of time so that my vocal cords can recover and I can put on the best performance for what I can do. Or then another artist who might say, well, I know that I can only sing for an hour and a half, but I'm going to do 3.5 hours and do maybe 2 hours worth of lip syncing. And again, that's an artistic choice. And some people don't mind that and some people do mind that, but it's down to the artist. Like if the person is happy just going out there and not performing live for that amount of time because they can do it for 2 hours longer, then that's, I mean, it just reminded me of a comment. And somebody said under one of my videos, let's see you try and perform live, you know, 3 nights in a row for 3.5 hours. And I didn't reply, but I felt like saying, well, if I'm lip syncing, I can do 12 hours a night. You know, that's what it boils down to. So yeah, you can not perform live, and you can do that endlessly because you're not actually doing it. So yeah, I just thought it was a bit of a funny comment. That obviously it was one of those kind of troll comments, but trying to use that as a potential excuse for, well, you wouldn't be able to do 3.5 hours, so that's why the lip syncing happens. But I definitely could do. I could do even more than that, the lip syncing. I know that. Yeah, you know, because you're not doing it. I've never lip synced in my career, but I know that I could do that. And I actually think that probably most people in the world could do that. Yeah, even non-musicians, you know, they do it on TV. They have these lip sync battles where the people don't actually sing the song, but they're doing it, and they don't have to quit halfway through the song because they, yeah, no, my voice is really struggling now to hit the notes, because they're lip syncing. So yeah, I just thought it was a bit of a funny comment. But anyway, let's not get into all of that again. Just going to skip this advert here. So, Liz has donated $10 as well. So thank you for that, Liz. And the message is, had to vote for Just Got Lucky because I just found out I don't have cancer. Love to Phil and all of you. Woohoo. And that's Liz's 5th Super Chat donation. So congratulations to Liz. And yeah, great news. Sadly, it's something that's very prevalent. Like here in the UK, we've had recently the Stand Up to Cancer thing. Like they do lots of different shows that are like celebrity editions of particular shows. And yeah, it's called Stand Up to Cancer. So it does say on there that I think the stat is 50% of the population will get cancer at some point in their lives. So yeah, I mean, it is a scary statistic, and yeah, it doesn't really care who it chooses. Obviously, there are things, I mean, coming from a sports science background and having exercised, you know, for pretty much all of my life, and knowing about limiting factors and all that kind of stuff, obviously there's the argument to say that, well, are the 50% of people who are going to get cancer, are they limiting their risk of it? And I know that, you know, being overweight and not exercising and all these different things are risk factors. And I know that, especially here in the UK, that a lot of the population, unfortunately, are, you know, sedentary and don't exercise and maybe have fast food, you know, once or twice or even more than that a week. So this is the problem, that it's, yeah, it seems like all of the foods that are promoted the most and advertised the most are the worst foods. So of course it's like a vicious circle that people then eat those foods, and the foods have things in them that make them like more addictive than healthy foods. So of course people just go back to them, and like I said, we'll have multiple fast foods a week. So yeah, I think it's not a good thing. I mean, I consciously try. I know that my last Domino's pizza was in October of last year, so I do try and, well, I suppose I keep a mental note of the last pizza I had, so that's, I guess, a good way to do it. That I think, well, October is the beginning of October, November, December, January, so I'm almost on to 3 months. So I think, well, that's kind of once. I always say in moderation, once is fine, but yeah, staying healthy, drinking enough water. I mean, I don't drink alcohol either, so but I'm not saying that I'm out of the woods. I think it can literally focus in on anyone. That's just the kind of the luck of the draw. All you can do is try and limit your risk factors for it. But anyway, thank you for that donation, Liz, and great to hear that news, and congratulations. Right, we are going to be jumping into the cover video for tonight. It's not going to be Just Got Lucky, but you just mentioning that smoking. I said I didn't drink and I don't smoke either. Smoking, is a huge one. It even says on the packets, I think, that it will give you cancer. So, but again, this is something that I've never understood about the government. And I do understand it on a kind of ridiculous level, that they don't ban smoking because it makes them so much money. Same with gambling, that's addictive. So it's like, well, if it's really bad for people and it might kill them, why don't we just say it will kill you, but still let them have it because we're earning a lot of money from it? So that's the other thing that you think, well, is I suppose the whole food thing and the government thing. I've said before how everything at the shops is shrinking with chocolate bars and anything because they're charging the same amount of money for it. But the government is saying, the reason that we're making it smaller is because we want to reduce the risk of obesity. It's like, well, if you want to reduce the risk of obesity, why not change the price down to half the price because it's half the size? Oh no, we're not going to change the price. We want the same money. We just want to make it smaller. So, I mean, it's all so dodgy. When I say dodgy, it's like just dishonesty. At least be honest about it. And say that if it is genuinely for a health concern, then you'd make it half the price because that is the reason for doing it. But it's not. It's like, well, we can make effectively double the money on half the product, or for the product size, we earn double the money because we're not going to change it. So yeah, that's happening all over the place in shops. So let's not get into that. But smoking, is a huge one that's really annoyed me for a very long time. And I've done a fair amount of research into it, and I know that somebody said sugar is the enemy, and I know a bit about the glycemic index and the insulin response to having sugar, and the way that effectively once you've had sugar, and once you get more sugar than our ancestors were used to when we used to go out and hunt, and we didn't really have a lot of sugar, maybe one of our caveman ancestors might be lucky and find once in a while some honey. They might find a bee's nest and they might be able to eat a little bit of honey just once a year. But once you're having it constantly, then you get the insulin response, which effectively puts your body in a weakened state because it's now having to recover. It's trying to release insulin to get your blood sugar level down. So it is like you go into like an inflammatory state. So the amount of sugar that humans have nowadays, it means that your body's always potentially struggling. And I know that there have been people who have linked that with cancer, saying that because we're having so much sugar and not enough protein. I mean, protein brings that down. So it kind of makes sense that if we're constantly having sugars, which is just refined sugars in all of the foods that are eaten constantly nowadays, if your body's constantly struggling against that all the time, it's not in a strong state to then counteract any cancerous cells that might be starting to take hold in the body. So yeah, it's really complicated, but it's not getting to that. And I'm not a professional at that. All I did was study sports science in university and in college, and that was nutrition was part of obviously the degree, the study, and yeah, it means that I've spent 5 years studying it. But I know about the insulin response due to obviously physical activity and exercise, and for that, of course, they don't say about the negative side of it. It's all about keeping your blood sugars up for exercise. And then you think, well, all of the people who exercise a lot and got cancer, you think, well, is it because of the high sugar levels from energy drinks and the amount of sugar that's in there? So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, there are certainly more people much more qualified than I to talk about it. I just do music on the channel. On the live streams, we talk about lots of different things, of course. But anyway, yes, let's jump into tonight's cover video, and it is going to be Broken Wings. I think this was in the lead for quite a while, but yeah, we will get that up on screen. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will have to find it on my screen. I found it, so luckily it's all in order alphabetically, so luckily B was at the beginning of the list. So this is my version of Broken Wings. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you after. Rock!
Why we can't just hold on to each other's hands. This time may be the last I fear, unless I make it all too clear. I need you so.
And there we have it. That was my version of the Mr. Classic Broken Wings. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for voting for that as tonight's cover video. Right now, I do believe that we have hit our target for tonight of 645 likes. So, thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. That is a new record for the channel, a new live stream record. So, great. And yeah, it's very much appreciated for hitting that thumbs up. Now, of course, it means that next week, the target is going to be even higher. So we need everybody to come back and hit that thumbs up again so that we can have another record next week. But a record is good for tonight and amazing. So thank you guys for that. So it means we are going to be busting out the guitar and having a FilJam. I'm just looking over at Joe's message because it is 6 minutes and 14 seconds in length, which means that'll take us to about 10 past, which means we might have 5 minutes for something. But oh, just quickly, we've had a couple of donations in the super chat window, so thank you guys for these. It's Totoro Porco who has donated $5. Thank you for that. And the message is, this cover is a great example of why pitch correction sucks. Your little inflections, slight rasp is what makes your vocals special here. So thank you for that, Totoro Porco. And yes, as you guys know from my analysis videos, that yeah, I'm not a fan of using pitch correction on my own stuff, on my own music. I'd rather, because I don't know, I'd rather just do it how I've learned to do it from, you know, learning to sing. Because I think that there's, I don't know, a sense of satisfaction when you get to a point and you know where you started, and then you know that now you can sing accurately. As I say in my videos, pitch accuracy is just something that takes a very long time to get good at, and it's just a learned skill. And that's why, yeah, if you kind of spend enough time doing it, you can get better, and then you'll get it to a point where you think, yes, I'm now getting close to the notes that I'm actually wanting to sing. So thank you for that, Totoro Porco. And Diamond Girl has donated $3 as well, so thank you for that. And it says, I'm not sure what that, oh, maybe fist bump, does that say? And it's the pear person kind of doing some punching, showing the knuckles. I can see Rose says picture corner, and no, there's no picture corner tonight. So there has been a donation over on PayPal as well. Let me just quickly jump into that. Selena has donated £15. So thank you for that, Selena. And that is a straight up donation. Right, now considering that it's over 6 minutes in length, the backing track, and now it's 5 past, considering maybe gremlins and things not working, I'm going to jump into the FilJam now. Because, yeah, I think the fill tunes are all kind of around 5 or 6 minutes in length, which means then we kind of run over quarter past. So, and then things kind of keep going, keep rolling over, and before we know it, it's almost midnight here. And then, yeah, the moderators are asleep because, yeah, the moderators are based in England. So, yeah, they need to get some sleep at some point. Well, I just stay up all night, but, yeah. They have their own lives. Right. Anyway, let me check that this can be heard. That's coming through. That's close enough. Right, so what are we doing? Oh, zoom out. There's something that I think always that I've forgotten. And it's in the back of my mind. It's like, what have I forgotten to do? Zoom out is there. Right. And I always kind of cross my legs to get the guitar a little bit higher up. Right, so let's click on this. Oh, pause that advert. We can hear that. This is Knocking on Heaven's Door, Clapton style, jam track, in brackets G major, and this is from Now You Shred backing tracks. That's a channel that we've had tracks from before, and let me unmute it. Right. So yeah, knocking on heaven's door, Clapton style jam track. So I think we already know what this is going to be sounding like. Right, let's play this. Let me know what the levels are like. If you can you hear my guitar? I've kind of hit it a few times. It looks like it's coming through on my system. Right, I'll just let it play and you can let me know. I can hear the backing, which is good. Good. we have applause. Oh, that was the end. So a kind of fade out to applause type thing. So there we have it. Yeah, decided to kind of go clean, just the at the end, because yeah, mix it up a little bit. So there we have it. That was obviously Knocking on Heaven's Door, Clapton style jam track in G major in brackets, and that's from Now You Shred backing tracks with the U in capital letters. So there we have it. That was the FilJam for tonight. A little bit more understated and not a heavy metal shred fest. So thank you for sending that my way, Joe. Right, I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night, so look out for that one. I'm going to be live streaming on Tuesday night, of course, so if you could join me then, that would be great. That's going to be 11 PM Greenwich Mean Time, as always. So yeah, all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!